welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Sue of Bendnstretch with Sue, and in today's video, I'm taking you through Pilates practice where we're using a small ball. Now, I've done a few other videos with this that I'll link down below for you. We've done a standing practice with a small ball, as well as a supine, and even one targeting glutes and hips particularly. And this one will be focusing mainly on prone as well as side lying positions. So if you don't have one of these at your disposal, you could use a child's small inflatable ball. You could use a rolled up towel, or you could use a cushion, something that you can squeeze and really use as a focal point to fire up the muscles. So before we get started though, I do have a few announcements for you. Be sure to follow me on Instagram. I've got regular postings that are going up there, as well as a brand new series that I just started relating to traditional Chinese medicine and the organ body clock. Now, the idea with this clock is that during the 24 hours, every 2 hours, your body is focusing on one particular organ to really optimize your entire system. To learn more about it, be sure to follow me over there. I'll also be covering the why and how and giving you some yoga poses that you can incorporate in your day-to-day life to really optimize your body and its health. Also, in the month of March, I will be collaborating with the account OTT Free Fit, and we will be on Instagram Live doing a talk about how to get off the couch and get moving, as well as various health tips from your chakra energy to balancing both on the mat, off the mat, and how to maximize a strong core through Pilates and how that makes your life so much fuller and better. So with that, be sure to check it out and let's get started on our practice now. Now, coming on all fours, we'll place the ball right behind one knee, stacking the joints here in a table position and creating a squeeze as you draw the heel towards your bottom, keeping the powerhouse on so the core is engaged, shoulders are spread apart so your form is really strong and solid. The head is reaching forward as we hydrant the leg out to the side. So moving away from the medial line of the body and bringing it back in. Now, as we move the leg away and move it back in, we breathe in when it's easy, breathe out when we are exerting more effort, and really feeling the squeeze behind the legs. So hamstring really engaging here, as well as the outer gluteus medius here is working hard to create that external rotation. Now the next time we lift it up, a little pause here to circle it in and back out again. And continuing to move with these rotations, keeping the breath flowing, keeping the neck long, trying not to tip over to the supporting side too much. We want to stay as centered as possible. Making nice rounded movements. They don't have to be large, just listening to your own body. And then moving in the opposite direction, keeping that movement still really nice and smooth. Breathing in and breathing out. Keep that squeeze. And from here, we'll finish it up with another 3 times around. And 2 more. 1 more time. And bring it back here. From here, let's take that ball, move it over to the other side. Same thing, placing that ball right behind the knee. Again, a nice squeeze so you can feel the activation behind the leg. Spreading the hands nice and wide. If you need to modify, you can always come up onto fists, just to make it a little easier on those wrists if needed. From here, we move it out to the side and back in. Again, remember your powerhouse engagement, trying to keep yourself as centered as possible, maintaining that very smooth rhythmic opening and closing. Breathing in and breathing out. And from here, on this one, we lift and hold, and we circle around. Keeping the movement really isolated in the hip joint. Keeping your head reaching forward, your gaze down in front of you, so it's probably about 2-3 feet in front of your hands, which will keep your neck nice and long, so you're not creating strain in the neck. Trying to soften through your jaw. And from here, let's change the direction, going around the other way. So really starting to feel not only your core working, but those glutes, side glutes, back glutes, hamstring, even some of the muscles in the calf working as you squeeze that ball very firmly between the back of the leg, front, lower, and upper back of the leg. Taking your time to draw those circles. And from here, let's bring it all the way down again. So you release the ball, set it aside for a few moments, and from here you can tuck the toes under to really stretch and open up the hamstrings all the way down to the Achilles tendon, separating the shoulder blades, creating a beautiful opening through the sides of the body, back of the body, as you gently walk it out. As we move forward into a plank position, we come into this nice strong alignment and rolling onto the tippy toes as we bend the elbows and lower down with control. So from here, stretch out the tops of your feet, making sure that you're aligning yourself really well. I'm going to reach for the ball once again, and now taking it right below the sternum. So I want to have the ball kind of the lower ribs in the center of the rib cage, pressing through the forearms and lengthening the tailbone, but yet there's a little bit of a tuck of the tailbone, and I'm pressing really firmly into those forearms as I open through the collarbones, reaching through my tippy toes, breathing in and flexing one ankle as I bring it toward the glute with a kick, kick. Breathing in as I extend and breathing out, switch, kick, kick, and reach. So double leg kick as we continue here. It's really about keeping the heart lifted and trying to keep the hips stable. In this instance, the ball is there to give me a little bit of extra support, really helping me to maintain this back bend as I focus on working the back body. And breath, smooth always, and keeping my gaze straight out in front so the neck stays nice and neutral here as well. Try not to let the hips kind of tip side to side. It's all about the control and stability. So let's do one more with each leg. Breathe in, breathe out, out, and extend it out. From here, I can remove the ball and bringing it right between my feet as I hold on to it firmly. And as I squeeze, I'm going to open up the knees. I can rest my forehead on the stacked hands. And from here, keeping a tuck of the tailbone as I lift the legs and lower them again. lift and squeeze and lower. They don't have to come up very high. In fact, sometimes in my classes, I'll see students where they really, nothing happens, they don't come off the floor, but there's a lot of work going on in those glutes as they lift up. Lots of work going on in the core overall. So we've got another 4. Squeezing that ball. 3, 2, and 1. From here, I bring the ball over in front of me and taking it out in front, placing both hands on the ball, keeping the shoulder blades hugging down the back rib cage, broadening through that upper body, taking an inhale, and as I exhale, I gently roll the ball a little bit toward me, lifting up into that back bend, articulating through my spine to release once again. Tip of the nose comes to the floor, inhaling and exhaling to roll it up with control once again and roll it back down. So this is about developing strength, control, and flexibility. We want to have all of these. That's what's going to give you the best mobility so that you don't get too stiff in one area of your body, really strong in one area, but then incurring weakness in other areas because of imbalances in the body. We want to have strong muscles in our back as well as in our front. The front muscles are our aesthetic muscles, and the back muscles are the athletic muscles. So it's also known as the show muscles and the go muscles. So let's do one more here. Coming up and articulating one vertebra at a time as we release to make our way back down again. From here, I move back to having the ball between the feet. And as I open up the knees, really getting a good grip on that ball. So sometimes it also happens that students will lose the ball and they go rolling all over the place, which is kind of part of the fun. So don't worry if that happens to you. Just stop and grab the ball again and start over. So from here, we can keep the forehead on with hand. Lifting up, extending as we squeeze, bring it back, and lower it back down again. Squeeze to lift, extend. Try and keep those thighs lifted. Mine are just barely off the mat. I can feel them just squeezing, just maintaining as much space as I can off the mat. So continuing on with those, really focus on those glutes, working hard. Everything's working hard. From the belly button down, try to relax your shoulders while you're here as well. Quite often, the upper body will start to tighten up, trying to squeeze every bit of strength that you can from your whole body. But we want to isolate here as we really focus on that lower half. The upper half will get its turn again, so don't you worry about that. And lower. We've got 3 more. Lift, reach, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Bring it back in and lower down. Lift it up, squeeze and extend. Bring it back and lower it down completely. One last one. Lift, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Keep it lifted as much as you can. Bring it back. Lower it down. Well done. From here, we switch back to bringing the focus and attention primarily in the upper body. So as we elongate, once again, we've got a tuck of the tailbone to really decompress that lower back, shoulder blades down the back, and as we hold on to the ball, we're going to take it behind the back, holding on to it here. So ball between the hands, Taking an inhale and lifting, bringing that ball forward, switching hands, and bring it behind the back, lifting up a little higher. So you can lower down a bit as you bring the ball forward and bring it back as you lift a little higher, and continue with that. Reaching forward and back, and again. And again. Switching direction, bringing it the other way, and back. Reach forward and reach back. Breathing in and breathe out. We've got two more in this direction. And last one. And release. You can bring the ear to the mat, the arms at your sides, just for a moment to take a little pause. We're almost done here. So from here, we'll take the ball, bring it to the top of the mat once again, and bringing both arms out. Right hand is on the ball here. I set my core, so tailbone's tucked. And you want to have a sense of lifting up your belly button just a little bit, as if you're trying to pick it up off your mat. And from here, we take an inhalation, and as we exhale, we lift the right leg, left arm, and bring it down. Lift and lower. So pressing that right hand into the ball, maintaining length and trying to get as much height as is possible for you to get. So we really want to recruit those back muscles. And last two. And bring it over to the opposite side. Left hand on the ball. Reset. Be sure to keep your collarbones nice and open. Your neck stays nice and long. And as you inhale, you exhale to lift the opposite side. So we've got 5 more from here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and bring the hands outside of your ribs. Tuck those elbows in towards your body, lifting up and pushing it back into a child's pose. So we want to bring some rounding now to our spine as we curl in. You can rest the forehead. You can rest it on the ball if you like, on your stacked hands, or just on the mat as you curl in and round into the back, giving yourself excellent recovery. As we unroll and making our way onto our side. From here, I'm going to bring the ball right between my ankles. So as I reach those legs long, I'm going to make sure I've got a good hold on the ball and maintaining a nice straight line with the body. And I can take my arm and bring it up. If I like to give myself a little bit more challenge, continuing to squeeze, lifting and lowering for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. As I maintain that, I roll the ball in for a passe and roll it away again. Rolling it in and rolling it back. So maintaining a nice long line, that knee opening up and pointing up toward the ceiling as much as possible. So again, we're working on the strength of the outer hip as well as the control. So bringing really good mobility in the hip, keeping the core engaged to stay stacked on our side. And as we bring the leg in this time, I take the ball and place it right behind my top knee. From here, bringing the soles of the feet together, or the arches together, and sandwiching the knee, and then opening up as I maintain that clamshell with a squeeze to the back of the leg. So again, it's all about the external glute here, really working. My powerhouse is on as I keep the navel drawn to the spine and continuing to open and close. Opening and closing. So finishing this up as I bring the knee back down again, keep squeezing, and I'm going to lift straight up and down for 10. This is 8, 7, keep squeezing that ball, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release it. You can just roll yourself over to the other side. I'm just going to move so that I continue to face you as I bring the ball right between the ankles once again, stacking my body, taking the arm up, a little squeeze, and hold for 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, oops, 4. So if you need to have the hand in front of you, makes it a little easier. 2, 1, and passe. Rolling that in, rolling it away. Again, arm can stay extended, so you want to make sure if you are extending your arm that you are keeping it really firm. You're not just kind of having it flop at all. You don't want it limp. You want to be actively reaching through those fingertips as you maintain real activation in the legs. So keeping your whole core engaged still. And one more time, we bring that ball in toward us as I place it behind the top knee. Soles, arches together, opening and closing. Now if I want a little more, I could also take that bottom shin right off the floor as I continue to really be firm in pressing that knee up to the sky. And again, you always breathe in when it's easy. You breathe out when you are working harder. And we've got another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring that down and lift and lower. So really draw the heel towards you again and keep lifting and lowering. Again, you can have the arm nice and firm, reaching it up to the sky, and feel that outer glute. So you're going to feel one side most likely more challenged than the other, which is totally normal. And keep squeezing it in as we continue to move up and down for the last 2, last one, and bring it in. From here, you can release the ball and you can move into a cool down of your choice. So I'll be sure to link one for you so that you can move into some stretching, and from there, carry on with the rest of your day. I hope this energized you and really got you to feel the back muscles. Important muscles for posture, so the stronger you have those back muscles, the more you are going to walk with confidence, with strength, and just feel good and energized. So with that, be sure to subscribe if you haven't. I'd really appreciate it. Hit the notification bell so you'll know when I upload new content. New one of these if you liked it. And we'll see you in the next video. You can check it out and check me out then. Namaste.